Hello everyone, it's Uranten here, and today I'm going to be talking about the band music and why I am excited about the band music going forward. If you've been paying attention, you'll realize that right now, at our current position, we are in an extremely good spot for the band music going forward, like real good. And to show you just how well off we are, I'm going to take the time now to go through the history of the band music from the early 2000s all the way up to the present, and then I will use that as a launching pad to explain why I am super excited, cause things look real good right now. Things looking real good right now. So when I was a kid, right, the band music was good. It's always been good. But when I was a kid, we only had three big bands. I want to start off right there. We only had three big bands. We had Grandmasters, New Vybes, and Small Axe. And the thing about it is, there was also a hierarchy in this. It was very clear that New Vybes was the big one. Small Axe was right there after them, and Grandmasters was a third spot right there. They weren't as up as the other ones, and it was very clear. And all of them still produced really good music, but New Vybes was really dominating that era. All that culminated to me in 2004. I think 2004 was an extremely special year for the bands. Some people don't look at it like that, but it's like 2004 is the last real big year before anything starts falling apart to some degree. And it's my favorite year, one of my favorite years of Carnival in general, because for that was three big band era years, right? When I'm telling you, if you expect all three bands to come hard, majority of the time, there's always someone who was lacking, who wasn't in the competition that year. It's always been like that. And then eventually, we had a year where Grandmasters had Money What, Small Axe had Crime Free, New Vybes had Bangalang. All three songs, all on the same level. Nobody know who will win road match. It's super exciting. All the albums them good. The music that year was extremely good. And I was like, okay, all the bands competitive, all the bands come hard, nice. And then, the next year after that, 2005, New Vybes won road match, Ting Lang. And then everything started to fall apart. Again, nobody was real competition in 2005, if I want to be honest. I don't remember Small Axe saying anything at all that year. And Grandmasters them wasn't pushing the right song, if I recall correctly. Yeah, they pushed Who You Hot It instead of Bada Bada. It wasn't really a real competition. New Vybes basically won for free. But essentially, what happened right after that was New Vybes band broke up. Immediately. Like, the one thing that you see, New Vybes band had a big breakup, messy breakup. The only member that I recall that is still around to this day after that whole breakup stuff was mentioned. Most of the band was splintered, heavily splintered. So, we already have one of the big three pretty much in a lot of trouble. Then the next year, the same year where New Vybes break up, when they had D Vybes formed and everything around, Small Axe come through and dominated. And I'm not even gonna, New Vybes had Big Drum, woo, and D Vybes had Turn It Up. Good songs. New Vybes and D Vybes albums were pretty good that year. Grandmasters come with something for something. It wasn't a bad year for the music in general, but everybody knew that Small Axe win. Masquerade just come in, slap up everybody, and we done. What happened right after that? Oh yeah, Small Axe break up now. Rascally gone. They're gone. All while this whole thing happening, Grandmasters is still chugging along. They're getting some new members here and there, replacing some of the older members, but nobody got a big breakup there. Kollision comes on the scene as well. So, just for you to know where we are now, at this point in time, we have two of the three big bands that are pretty much broken up. We have a small band coming up on the scene. There's also stuff like Lights Out and some, but I ain't getting into that right now. I want to focus on the ones that would heavy participation. Lights Out also had some pretty good stuff going on too. But we're going to get to that when we get to that. Then you have to look at the fact that Grandmasters is chugging, but they were always the third one. The other two was big, but they kind of just they mess up right now. They mess up. And then got Kollision who's coming around. And Young Kollision got some good music, don't get me wrong, but they just coming up. Then we have to look at what happens next. We have to look at the Grandmaster's Street Beat, and we have to specifically look at what facilitated that. When I said Grandmasters was the third one, I wasn't kidding. But then, things changed. And it wasn't just that the other two broke up. Grandmasters added a couple new members to replace some of the older members. David House took over as the rhythm master. Ruckus was added to the band. Mali was added to the band. That is not in the exact order. I believe David House joined first, then Mali, then Ruckus. Or it was Mali, then David House, and Ruckus. I don't fully remember that Ruckus was the last one to join. But that's not important. Grandmaster's makeup of Smiley as the lead singer and Ruckus and Mali backing him up, David House giving some sweet rhythm, and the amount of rhythm and music then they give just for them 3 years where they just was banging everybody ass was phenomenal. Grandmaster's quality went so stupidly high that they just came and they passed the quality that New Vybes as the bearer had, and they passed the quality that Small Axe was giving people. All while these bands pretty much is non-existent. New Vybes quality started to go down during this period of time. The last time New Vybes came with like real energy was Lion Paw, and after that, everything after that was just kind of inconsistent down. So we already got New Vybes now on a downward trend. Then Small Axe is non-existent at all. I'm telling you, non-existent. During these 3 years, Small Axe only showed up again when Busty Bubble was winning it. And then you have to take a look at the little band that could. Because nobody was studying Kollision. Not one person cared about it. The thing about St.Kitts back then especially, you couldn't do anything as a band unless it was one of the big bands and for people to take you seriously. So Kollision coming out, actually getting some sweet rhythm, back shot, bounce on it, all this good music, right? All of this good music, and people still wasn't giving them no time whatsoever. Kollision was producing so much good music, it wasn't even funny. But at this point now, we have a Grandmasters that is dominating. Kollision that is right underneath them producing good music. A struggling New Vybes, a non-existent Small Axe. And then, Small Axe returns. With a vengeance, Small Axe come back strong. The first album wasn't the greatest when they come back, but it was still pretty good. And then, Converse come, Converse win. We really studying the road match too much. I want to focus on the band music, but Grandmasters had a little dip. It was just 1 year, but still, the music was good. The quality was still there. New Vybes was struggling heavy at this point in time. Like when I said it was inconsistent, the music, it wasn't even inconsistent. They were just not doing anything. They weren't saying anything. Small Axe came back and Small Axe immediately started the fight against Masters because it was very clear that this is where the competition was going. New Vybes was not at all going to be a part of it for a bit. Axe quality went up, and then New Vybes did something that was fun for me. Oh, before I go to New Vybes, let me go to Kollision first. Kollision around this time was producing really good music, like I was saying. And then Akai left or was kicked out or whatever. Akai no longer part of the band, and they started to go in a very weird direction around this point in time. So while Small Axe was kicking it into overdrive, and Grandmasters was still just amazing at this point in time, like just going so far ahead of everybody else still, Kollision started to struggle. And it was a very weird direction that caused them to struggle. They kind of just exited the scene in a weird way, where they still produced music, but it wasn't enough. It was kind of weird the way it happened. And this, like, we're in the Arm and Dangerous kind of area, like right there. That was the last time Kollision was like, ooh, we there. It was like right after Arm and Dangerous, it had to go in a really weird direction that I didn't like. Act started to kind of have weird quality, like had weird come out, and I was like, ew, that's nasty. And New Vybes come back finally. And I said come back, but honestly, they weren't back. They were inconsistent. But they moved from having terrible only things to having, oh, okay, this is actually a decent album. to, okay, they might have some bad album here thing. But essentially, we reached to a point where Grandmasters is now the leader. There's no question, there's no debate. They are the most consistent band in the country. They are producing the best music in the country, and there's a reason why they were dominating. Small Axe was doing stuff, and then their quality started to drop down. Coincidentally, when they somehow started to win road matches with songs that didn't deserve road match. I wonder how that happened. Not getting into it. Then, Kollision also had a weird direction they went in, so they were down for a bit as well. And then, yeah, it wasn't looking too hot. You had an inconsistent New Vybes, a great Grandmasters, basically non-existent Kollision. I don't know if I said that already. And going down the hill, Small Axe. And then it kind of continued with inconsistent New Vybes and such for a little bit, until we had some peaks getting hit. New Vybes, the year with Rock and Come In, oh my god. New Vybes come back. Again, they're still inconsistent, don't get me wrong. They're not, every year is bam, 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 bam. They're inconsistent, but it's crazy how good the music was coming. Grandmasters, again, with Smiley leading, was crazy. They were consistent. The music was consistent. They were just the... If you want good music, Grandmasters was your band. Every year without fail, that was your band. Small Axe, again, started to go downhill. There are so many years where you have to wonder what was happening. I used to talk with a Small Axe fan, and we used to be discussing what the issue was. Is it Mr. World? Is it Raskelly? What's going on? Jazzbo's like the only thing keeping them afloat. What's happening right now with Small Axe? It was very weird. Even with and here's what people need to understand. People like to look at things in a very small way, but I'm trying to get you to look at the big picture here. The Hardware album was not very good. Hardware was a popular song, but it definitely was not a good song. Not only that, there's no way that song was the most popular song on the road, legitimately. Then the year after that, they win with Bottom in the Wood. This year it was the last really good year for them. Bottom in the Wood was a popular song. I still don't think that's a good song, but it was a popular song. The rest of that album, outside of the Bounce song from Jazzbo, was garbage. And then you had Pepper Them album, where everything else except Pepper Them was garbage. Then you have to go straight to Warrior. Warrior was an amazing song, led by Jazzbo. And again, the rest of the album was garbage. Small Axe was producing horrible albums with one or two songs in there that could potentially teeth a road match. That was Small Axe's entire thing for these years going up. Everything going up straight till we reached to the lockdown period. That was Small Axe's entirety of it. It was not good at all. All the albums were not saying anything. On the other hand, New Vybes had some inconsistency, but they also had some pretty good songs in between there. Really good songs. So there was some when the album was good, there was some when the album was bad. There was Coming Up, there was saying Kollision. At this point in time, Kollision was off of the weird direction. Off of their weird ass direction. Very, very weird direction wherever they went in. When they started to basically chase other stuff. Bagnall was gone, thank God for that. I'm gonna be real, I'm not the biggest fan of Bagnall, but Bagnall leaving Kollision was the best thing to happen to Kollision at that point in time. Because it was very clear he was the reason why they were going in this weird ass direction. And as soon as he left, they snapped back and they used songs like Free Willy. And I'm like, thank God Kollision is back. And ever since then, Kollision's consistency up until the actual lockdowns was great. They weren't having any real big road match songs, they had Gears and such, but outside of that, but they still had the consistency. It was like, oh, Kollision really had a good jam. Kollision had a good music. Kollision coming up good. Kollision music was still great. Like, go back and listen to the albums from like 2019 and 2018 and so. The album was good. The albums were really good. Kollision and the latter half of the 2010s was really, really, really good. And I can't speak enough for Grandmasters. It was consistent. It was good. They were not hitting the same peaks that they were hitting early 2010s and such, but the quality was still extremely high. I can't really say much about that. So, just to basically give everybody what's happening at this point, just to recap it. Grandmasters, quality, still great. You're going to hear me say this consistently throughout the video. New Vybes, peaks, not really, some lows, pretty much coming back to form. They're inconsistent, but it's leaning more towards consistent. Kollision, extremely consistent. Nothing bad ever coming out from them at these latter half years. Small Axe, producing pretty much shit, if I'm going to be frank and honest. And then, we also have to look at the fact that Small Axe had another breakup. Rascally gone again. They kick him out again. Because apparently they love to kick out Rascally. It happened too many times at this point, I'm be real. And then he formed the Rhythm Band. Rhythm Band was a good... Rhythm Band had one good album, and then it disappeared. I don't know what to say. It was a blip. It was a blip. But it is part of the band history, so I have to mention it. But then we're going into the lockdown periods. And you have to look at the fact that 2 new bands now are stepping into the scene as we're going into this lockdown period. You have ASAP Band, and you have Upset Squad, which felt more like a offshoot of Rascally Rhythm Band to some degree at first. But we have essentially a third Small Axe at this point. So, now we've entered this period where we have 2 more new bands. What's gonna happen? Well, one of those new bands, Upset Squad, is going to start to take over. I don't know, people going to be tilted their head and be like, what do you mean Upset Squad take over? Upset Squad ain't saying shit. Upset Squad, and I'm going to watch you in the face and tell you you're not paying attention. The entirety of the lockdown period was dominated by Upset Squad. The Shake song, the whole task force and so. And then when you come out of the lockdowns and you reach into the first big album that everybody was dropping for the year, Upset Squad released a full-blown album, Home on the Street, I believe it's what it was, and that was when Cowbell was there. Okay? Upset Squad dropped hard album. Upset Squad come and they carried us heavily through lockdowns. Well, the other bands gave us some small little samplings and stuff and so. Upset Squad give us brand new music and carry us through. And I kind of want to end the recap right there because I want to put these last set of years post-lockdown into part of the whole launching pad into why I'm excited. But to recap where we are and where we stand. Grandmaster's Band, consistent. Kollision, consistent. New Vybes, inconsistent, but having decentish peaks right now. Small Axe, in the gutter. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry. ASAP Band, just established. Upset Squad, established and taking out good music as well. Now, here's why I'm excited going forward right now. So, the reason why I'm excited, right? We got to finish the history a little bit. But I want to use this as a launching pad for real because I'm excited for real. Now, I'm going to start going through each band and explain why everything's exciting going forward right now. I'm going to start with the easiest band to go over, the Grandmaster's Band. Grandmasters is very easy to explain why I'm excited for them. Why I'm excited about their music year after year after year. They're consistent. They haven't had a bad album in over 20 years. They're very, very consistent. And as soon as we got out of the lockdowns, you got Outside Again, Grimy, Bubble It, you got Wrong Man, Happy, Different Level. There's so many great songs that came out and continue to come out. They have Like a Rose, what other one in there? Bing Bong, One for the Road, Big Ship. I pretty much call the whole album from this last year. But the point that I'm trying to make is Bounce Around, Can You? They're consistent. They're supremely consistent. The music is great. I cannot help but be excited for when Grandmasters releases because they legitimately have not missed. They continue to not miss. Are there things that I have issues with them with? Yes, that's what my next video is going to be about, the Grandmasters Band. However, as for the music quality that they drop, y'all, it's a no-brainer. They are the most consistent band in St.Kitts. If we were really and truly grading bands on quality of the music all the way through, there's no way anyone would come out here and say that any other band better than Masters. But people are fans of other bands and they're drawn to whatever the other bands them have. And I understand that some things that Grandmasters could push people away. However, when it comes down to Carnival time and the music is out, no contest, Grandmasters is the most consistent. Good music every single year. you can't help but be excited when it comes to them. Let's look into New Vybes next because oh my god. Remember when I leave off I said inconsistent about hitting peaks, right? Since lockdowns, that has changed. New Vybes isn't inconsistent anymore. They are very, very, very consistent coming out of these lockdowns. Every year, their albums have been actually pretty good. And even this year, as much as I got a stupid Trinify song, everything else that they dropped was good. The consistency that they even had a peak with Ken and Babby. New Vybes' consistency over these last couple years is so good. I'm excited. The fact that they've been doing this, if they can keep this up, I am telling you, woo, it's gonna be sweet. I'm excited for them, like legitimately. I hear that 25 song on me because they might change direction and try to put on more music like that and try to win with that. But if they ignore that dumb shit and they keep going with the direction of like bedroom rock, turn up again, Ken and Babby, the Dolly song, fuel up, not Kollision, New Vybes, hell yes, they're gonna be looking good. We have to take a look at Small X Band now, and I'm not going front. I'm not excited about what they put out. They don't put out great music, and this year they put out pretty decent ones, just decent, not great, just decent music. But the thing that made me excited legitimately was that when they was on the road, they was clean. Small X music was clean. They sounded really good. Like you could actually go jam to this music. Like it sounded good on the road. I got to give them props. Whatever the system compact, everything, that was nice. Like Axe sounded really good on the road. Give credit where credit is due. I want them to do better when they're producing the music, but on the road, Level Up sounded real nice. I'll be real honest with you. Level Up sounded real nice on the road. Credit where credit is due. They sounded good. They sounded real good. Kollision. Remember I left them off being consistent? Well, Kollision has unfortunately entered their New Vybes era. Not the bad era, but the inconsistent era of. They have peaks, really good peaks, like Pressure, I honestly think is their best song ever. Legitimately, I think Pressure is their best song ever. However, I will say that they are very inconsistent, where the first year with Rampant was not good, and then the year with Pressure was really good, and then the year after that, where they won their first road match, was not a very good year for the music. This year was okay, it wasn't great, it was leaning more towards good than bad, but it wasn't great. They're not consistent on the level where every year, Kollision got you every year. Like in the late 2010s and the late 2000s, Kollision had you every year. I can't say that right now because these last ones were inconsistent and it's a little scary, but they're still hitting pretty decent peaks. Because I can't sit here and pretend that they ain't putting up decent stuff. Because G-Spot, sweet. Pressure, Big Batty, Lord, Kollision, keep it up. I want y'all to do a little better. I need a little more, but y'all are doing good. Now let's go by Upset Squad. Remember I leave off saying them there's the one who gets us through the lockdowns for real, right? I wasn't kidding when I said that. But and they come out of the lockdowns and they give you Home on the Street and Cowbell and so. They continue to be consistent. We everything, like I'm being honest when I say people do not give Upset Squad the credit they deserve. My wife at one point was telling me that she thinks she favorite. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm a big Masters fan. A little disappointed about that. But hey, I can't blame her because the consistency of the music they brought out was good. Molly bringing out the music, good. Every year they sang them, good. People don't give them the credit that they deserve. They don't even really got people jamming them, but I'm telling you straight up, Upset Squad, good ass music. Extremely good music. Never fails to give you good music. It is exciting. Every time when Upset Squad releases, it's exciting. Even if they don't have a great year, the music is still decent. So, I'm excited about them in general. ASAP Band. No, ASAP is weird because I haven't been following them for very long, and the parts that I do follow them with is they have good music, but they also have parts that are kind of weird. That's the best way to put it. Because they have a very unique style. people will say, oh, there's new vibes and all kind of shit. I'm like, nah, they're not a new vibes anyway. Their style is unique. Their style is extremely unique, and it's hard to mark. It is very clearly still wireless, but it's weird. It's different. Weird is not the right word. It's different. And the music they have has been really good. I'll be honest. Even when I sit down and I listen to a lot of this stuff, it's really, really good music. Obviously, they started out doing a lot of covers and such fuss, and they're still doing a lot of covers, and they're singing other people's music and stuff. But for the most part, when they sing their own songs, Truck Driver is good, Rum Shop is good, Love and Light is good. There had a couple other songs they had before that I remember. Because I remember Brandon did another song with his wife before that I really like. I used to look forward to whenever the two of them sing together, because they had really, really good music. I didn't like Life in the Drop It this year, but Drop It was just, Drop It. So, very high peaks. The music itself isn't the greatest, I'll be honest, but the songs are still good and still consistent. And it leans more towards, in a sense, at least with Drop It, more towards virality than the song itself being great. Because Drop It is a good song to listen to, but Drop It is, it's more of a, if you play it and it's fun, but as a song you listen to for the most part, it's not the greatest song that came out. That's the best way to put it. But it was definitely Song of the Year song. Big up ASAP. I like what they're doing. I hope they continue to produce really good music. I'm extremely excited to see where they go, because this is a good stepping stone for them, and I can't wait to see where they go. I'm upset they got robbed at the road match, but it is what it is. They honestly put in the work, and I'm very proud of what they have done. But that brings us to the real reason I'm making this video. All the bands so far I've described have been exciting to some degree. Why I have reason for them. We've already seen, we moved from a spot where we had 3 big bands to now every single band that I have described so far, we see why I am a little bit excited about them. We have way more than 3 bands. We have so much music that's coming out of the band. You already see why I'm excited. However, this last one now, oh my god. Do y'all remember JTS? I don't know if I remember JTS, but JTS used to put out some good music. JTS stood for Jazzbo, Tubap, and Stickle. I remember that, right? So, as you know, they still produce music. I want y'all to go and look over how the releases drop. Tubap drop music, and then Jazzbo drop music, and they drop a couple songs together, and the two of them just keep dropping music. Two of them combined dropped a hell of a lot of music this year. Mostly groovy, but they dropped a lot of music this year. A lot of music this year. And it was good. It was good. And then Jazzbo dropped Rule Session with the Xcess band. And I was like, weird, that wasn't Vic Tick band. What happened? Well, I don't know what happened there. If someone wants to enlighten me, that'd be great. But I see Jazzbo with Xcess, I'm like, oh, that's exciting. And Jazzbo and Tubap always a move around together. Them, they're like brothers, right? Cool. I have a feeling. I just had a feeling that I feel like Tubap gonna be a part of me either with Xcess or you must be singing on the trailer or something. So something like that. I just had a feeling. And then Parade there, I see the two of them on the trailer. I said, oh shit. Oh shit. That's scary. That's good, but that's scary. Jazzbo and Tubap on a band? No. You know what? It'll happen. You know, sometimes things just happen. Because, you know, Grandmasters had Mali on top of the trailer for a little bit this year. Maybe ain't nothing special. Maybe ain't nothing big happening. And then I saw a poster. Xcess band featuring Jazzbo and Tubap as performers on a poster. And I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. Holy shit. Y'all don't understand what this means. Rule Session is a good song. I mean, they can produce good session, but again, this is Small X Part 4. If I'm being honest, it's probably Small X Part 4. But if I'm gonna be real honest, Jazzbo is extremely good. Tubap is extremely good. We have 2 amazing people as the vocalists behind the new band, and as long as they reading them, they get sweet. We in for some great music. We music going forward. We band music going forward. It is so exciting. We still have some of the old heads producing music. We still have the Smileys. We still have the Mentions. We still have the Mr. Worlds and so. And while two of those people are still producing good music, we still have them there. We still got Ras Kelly, and so we still got others. We got some of the newer generations. We have Rukus, we got Chubby, we got Minkos, we got Jazzbo and Tubap. You got Delhi. It's the music right now. The vocalist perspective is looking really good. The only band that's in a little bit of trouble is New Vybes. Only the rest of them, you need somebody else to be a main vocalist who actually puts up music as well. You're not gonna be there forever. Chop get on that. That was supposed to be Ketty, but hey, Ketty screwed that up. And I ain't even mentioned screwed up. That's Ketty screwed that up. So hey, go find somebody. Go ask your son or your daughter. I don't really care who. You need somebody. Find somebody. There's lots of vocalists out there. Bring Statics into the band for all I know. Hey, that could be a good one for you. I don't know if he would mesh with New Vibe style, but hey, I'm just saying you need to find somebody. And then the future gonna look real bright, because everybody can't just be depending on the Rasta man for the whole goddamn time. He ain't gonna be around forever. You need to start future-proofing your band. Everybody needs to start future-proofing the band, if I'm gonna be honest. But hey, the point that I am trying to make here is that all of the bands are in extremely good places to some degree, and we have so many more bands. We have moved from Big 3 to Count With Me. Grandmasters is 1, New Vibes is 2, Small Axe is 3, Kollision is 4, Upset Squad is 5, ASAP Band is 6, Xcess Band is 7. We have 7 really talented bands on the road right now. Y'all, this is insane. This is insane. This is exciting. Next year, Sugar Mass, if everybody fire on all cylinders, it gonna be mass. It gonna be mass. Anyway, if you enjoyed me basically gushing over the St.Kitts bands and all of that stuff, hit that like button. Hit that follow button. It doesn't really matter which one you hit. Hit them. Subscribe. Because we got one more St.Kitts video before I exit the scene until October, September area, and come back again with some fun ideas that I've had crafting, but you need to hit the season running. So I wanted to get this one here out because this one here popped into my mind when I was making the last one. I was like, oh shit, we in a good spot. It popped into my mind when I was watching all the bands across on the Bay Road. I was like, oh shit, we good, you know? We kind of set. Like, we are legit set. Oh my god, we look good, you know? We got music kind of in a good spot, you know? So yeah, it's exciting. It is very, very exciting. So with that said, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Hope you like the video, share it, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And the next time, we will be tackling constructive criticism of the Grandmasters band, because I feel like they're consistent, but there are things that they are doing that I feel need to be talked about before it gets overwhelming. And I've seen other people also talk about it. So let's get into the topics, because there's, as a fan, a lot of them are going to be a small nitpicks and such, but there are big things that we do need to critique about them that need to be changed soon, because they're doing a bit much, and I would like them to reel it in and kind of hammer down on the parts that make things great. So yeah, with that said, I'm out. Peace. I gone.